So we have one more verse. Please repeat. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So today's theme has been what Vyasadeva did after Narada instructed him to compile Srimad Bhagavatam. We heard from Sutta Goswami that Vyasadeva sat down for meditation, and because he was perfectly linked with God by means of bhakti, he was able to see Krishna and the external energy separately, and the external energy was under Krishna's full control. So this third verse, Anartho Pashamang Sakshad Bhakti Yogam Adhok Sajay. Picking up from the previous verse, that everything in this material world is a dream. And therefore everything in the material world, viewed in terms of sense gratification, is illusion. As we said earlier, there are only two purposes for this material creation. Sometimes that question is asked, why did God create the material world? So it has two purposes. One purpose, those who want to enjoy, those who want to imitate Krishna, take your birth in placentia and see how far you go. Go ahead. Try to lord it over my material energy. Go ahead. You want to imitate me? That's a fool's dream, but since that's what you want, go. And the other purpose of the material creation is for you. Because you're not in that first category. Otherwise, you wouldn't be here. You would be somewhere else. So the other purpose is to become liberated. Atpavarga Vartmani, the path of liberation. So this verse says, all these material sense enjoyments, anartha, they're actually unwanted. Why? Because if you're attached to the unwanted things in this world, come back and take birth after birth. Go ahead. So there is a process which will directly mitigate the material miseries. Again, we experience material miseries as a reaction of trying to exploit the material energy. Ravana tried to exploit the energy of Ram. What happened? He was killed. Hiranyakashipu, the same way. Here he is. Hiranyakashipu also tried to exploit the material world. Look what happened to him. So we try to exploit this material world, and therefore we suffer miseries. Our own body and mind causes us misery. You're all getting older. How do you feel in the morning, huh? How do you feel? I know how I feel. So, there's miseries caused by the body and mind. Miseries caused by the demigods who control the cosmos. They say global warming, it's true. Blame the demigods. Because people are not doing sacrifice. The demigods are, oh, you don't want to do sacrifice? How about this cold wave? How bad is it where you coming from? Pretty bad, huh? He's coming from Rockford near Chicago. He escaped, came to here. And the other miseries, others. Other people cause us miseries. Maybe it's the next door neighbor's dog that barks at 2 o'clock in the morning and you can't sleep at night. Or maybe it's when you go to India, mosquitoes. You like them? Huh? Or maybe in your house you have cockroaches and ants. It's a problem. So that's what's going on in this material world. Because we're trying to exploit Mother Nature, reactions. But Vyasadeva, well, actually Sutta Goswami says, this is why Vyasadeva compiled Srimad Bhagavatam. Because he wants people to learn the process how to actually enjoy. And that process is called Bhakti Yoga. It's right here. Bhakti Yogam Adhoksaje. So, when he says Adhoksaje, it's not devotional service to a demigod. No, this is very exact. Adhoksaja. The name Adhoksaja. Everybody say. It's one of the first names of Krishna ever memorized. I loved it when I liked that name. Like, how many people like Govinda? Isn't that a nice? Right, so there's some names, you all have your favorites. Govinda, so I like Adhoksaja. One more time. Adhoksaja means, what is God? God is beyond the range of your telescopes, your microscopes. Any material device, you will not see God or contact God by any material device. It won't work. Because God is spiritual. You can't mix apples and oranges. It's two different things. Although some people do make orange apple juice. But they're two different things. So, Adhoksaja, he's all spiritual. He cannot be perceived with your material senses. Arjuna couldn't even see Krishna's universal form without Krishna giving him the eyes to see. Krishna told him, you can't see my universal form with these eyes. I have to give you those eyes. Like if you go sometimes to the movies, the 3D movies, they give you special glasses, otherwise it doesn't turn out right. So you need the right spectacles to see God. What is that? Bhakti. That is the way to see and know and understand God. Bhakti Yogam. To Adhoksaja, that person beyond the range of material senses. But then there's another verse which says he can be revealed when the senses are purified. Gross senses, materialistic senses, no, you cannot see God. But if the senses become purified, then you can see God. And what is that purifying program? Bhakti Yoga, which, by the way, Krishna himself says in Bhagavad Gita, you should do bhakti at least 3 times, if not more. But 3 big references, chapter 8, at the end of chapter 11, and definitely in chapter 18. Only by devotional service can I be understood, can I be seen as I am. So Vyasadeva compiled Srimad Bhagavatam for, as it says here, lokasya, for the general mass of people. It's for everybody. That's why Prabhupada insisted that his books be distributed. Bhagavatam is for everybody. Do you have 2 eyes? Can you read? Then Bhagavatam is for you. Everyone should have Srimad Bhagavatam. Because it says here, Ajanata, the people in Kali Yuga, they don't know. They don't know the glories of Bhagavatam. So we have to instruct them. Because it is in relation, with the supreme truth. As again I said at the beginning, what is Bhagavatam? The beautiful Bhagavatam is the highest truth distinguished from illusion for the welfare of all. That is Srimad Bhagavatam. And what does it talk about? God and his devotees. Both go together. It's not just about God. No. God and his devotees. And you go through Bhagavatam, chapter after chapter, you will hear about God and his devotees. Everybody chant the Maha Mantra.